people we have here on the street, they're obviously protesting the Klamath water settlement. They didn't get assurances, and their water is going to be taken away from them, a whole lot of them. And I think they're waiting a resource advisory meeting that's going to happen later here in the courthouse. My name is Roger Nicholson, and I'm the president of Resource Conservancy, and it's a group that represents Upper Basin irrigators, some 50,000 acres of Upper Basin irrigation community. Resource Conservancy was denied access at the table. We officially asked, and they denied.
Why?
They never gave a reason. I've read the whole settlement agreement, and it is a very, very unfair agreement. They didn't give consideration. The Upper Basin people were willing on the conceptual agreement to settle and do their part, but the assurances they were to have on water assurances and ESA assurances and power rate assurances fell by the wayside by the time the agreement was done. They were used as sort of a sacrificial lamb and thrown under the railroad train. I don't think there'll be very much Upper Basin irrigated agriculture left if this goes through. Between what will be called upon and not be compensated and that which will be bought, the community will shrink drastically. Upper Basin has already lost some 70,000 acres of irrigated land, probably a little over that. That was productive irrigated farm and pasture land, and by the Nature Conservancy and the federal government. Supposedly it was taken in the skies of water balance and provide more water for the lake and for other uses, and it's done no good. They just keep wanting more and more. The appetite can't be satisfied until they have it all, I guess.
My name is Brandon Topham. I'm with Flying T Solaires, one of the larger ranches in the valley, and we're here trying to save our water rights. To use our own water, we'll have to ask the Indians for it. We will not have direct control of it, and at the same time they're tying in the groundwater with the surface water, so even our wells are not safe.
Butch Hadley from Bly, Oregon, up in the headwaters of the South Fork of the Sprague River, where they all homesteaded those ranches. And I've got my paper with me, and our water rights are dated back to the late 1800s. And I'm afraid they're trying to fool with that even. I know they want to take 30,000 acre feet from our area. I've got 200 mother cows in Bly, and that's all I know. I've been there 71 years.
Linda Long Burdette. Well, I was raised in the northern Klamath Basin, Fort Klamath and Chiloquin. I've lived there all my life and been in the ranching and farming business. We're faced with possibly losing our right to irrigate. I've been I'm on the Hatfield Upper Basin Working Group, and I've been on a lot of different committees, and I think this agreement does a lot to split our communities, and I hate to see that, living here all my life and knowing a lot of these people from all over. You know, we shouldn't have to. The farm community should be able to pull together as one and have one voice and not be working against each other because they have a 1905 water right and up there some of us have 1864 water rights. Time immemorial claim, which is the last claim in the adjudication process, was filed by the tribes for all the water in the basin, and to leave all the water in the basin in the streams, in the rivers, lakes, and streams, basically. So if we have a water rights, even if we have an 1864 water right, time immemorial trumps 1864, and our water rights could be in jeopardy, just like the 1905 and the other water rights in the basin.
I'm Bruce Topham, and I'm a rancher in Sprague River Valley. In addition to being a rancher, I'm a groundwater geologist. I've testified against water resources at the state senate on a couple of occasions and won. After studying the report that came out yesterday, it's very biased. We didn't have a very good seat at the table. Nobody asked me my opinion, and yet they have a settlement, apparently. They say we all agreed to a bunch of things. I didn't agree to anything. I've dealt with water issues out there for 36 years. And the net effect of this thing, the water will not belong to us anymore. not groundwater or surface water. It will all be in someone else's hands who can shut us off anytime they want.
Down the road, especially in light of the amount of public that appear to be interested in this topic.
Frank Wallace, president of the Basin Alliance. How does buying, this is all supposed to be for the fish, how does buying 90,000 acres help the fish by giving it to the Indians? The people have to buy that for their tax money. People, it's a lot of money. It could be spent better. It could be spent on the lake. It could be spent on things that actually would help the fish. I'm not against helping the fish. I just don't think we're spending our money wisely.
Steve Kandra, Merrill Farmer, Klamath Water Users Association. As an entity that's been involved in settlement, of course, I have a bias. It's been an awful lot of work. We've worked really to the center, and so I'm thinking that the settlement is certainly better than what I call the alternatives of status quo. And you're never going to have a true settlement unless you get all the folks that you have here gathered together working. And this is a great opportunity. We should take advantage of it. We just hope with that we get some folks that are polarized on either extreme, get their constituencies to look at what can be provided and what's offered up to them, so they can take advantage of it. I do have some concern that there wasn't a very good display for the folks that are outside the project of what their program was. So there's some work to be done, I think, about what I call clarity on that. It seemed to be more a display of water rights than it was trading back and forth than it was all the other issues that are involved in the settlement, communities, sustainability, and all those things. So I think folks still need to have a little discussion.
Brought to you by Jacqui Krizo for the Capitol Press.